Our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
A very beautiful morning to you and Happy New Year to all our viewers out there. Thank you for staying faithful to Dawn on MBC. It's the first episode of the show this year, the month of January 2016, and we're so delighted to be here. We were last year, and of course that was the last episode of the show. So we'll know how people do it. It's a brand new year, brand new resolutions, brand new to-do list and not to-do list, and then, you know, probably by June most of these things are faded out. My name is Jumoke, and once again welcome to another brand new year and wonderful episodes of Dawn on MBC. With me this morning, I have the pleasure of introducing Professor Patrick Omosage. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning and Happy New Year to everybody that's watching us.
All right, so like we said, it's a new year, and guess what? I just woke up this morning to the trending story in Nigeria, in the entertainment industry in Nigeria, and it's all about this very well-known artist, Olamide, of course, very known to lots of Nigerian, and he's got a lot of followers on Twitter, and Don Jazzy, another music producer, over whose artists now, not either of them now, they're both producers also, over whose artists should win the next rated category of award. Well, the category was contested and it was picked up by the Marvin Records artist. But unfortunately, Olamide feels slighted and he felt like, oh my gosh, he should have gone to his own artist. That's the YDNL Artist of the Year. He believes that Lil K should have won that award. And because of that, he got on stage and, you know, dropped some jabs here and there, fired some jabs. And when it was time for Don Jazzy to collect his award, he got on stage and said, maybe Olamide should come pick up the car. And that started the fire. Well, that's what happened right there that you're seeing on the TV. That's at the Headies Award in Nigeria. It's one of the award to entertainment professionals in Nigeria. It's been on for a couple of years. And honestly, I've never seen something like this before. And I got him throw the mic off, throw the drink into the crowd. Honestly, now, without mixing words, I think that was just far too much, right? Your fans out there, other people out there, you just threw your drink right there, threw the mic on the floor. I understand you have a right to express your opinion, but I think you should respect your fans, right? People voted for this category, and the people's choice won. Prof is not he's not into entertainment, but I want to say, does any other thing beat the fact that people's vote should count?
Well, look, we live in a culture that we're not very competitive. I mean, even though we like to say we love to compete and all that, it's competition. You lost, you accept it, you move on. But, you know, the thing that's funny to me is that most of these names you're mentioning, never heard their names before. I listen to Nigerian music. I mean, I have great CDs that, you know, people send to me and all. I listen to a lot of my, but I can't differentiate one from the other. So when they're quarreling like this, or, you know, support, look, we live in a parallel world. What we've seen here, what we just showed is something I think we've seen on the American scene.
Kanye West.
you
Exactly,
know. So
right?
it's a parallel. Look, Nigeria and America, we're living in parallels and all that. That's fine. Look, it's going to die away, and then we're going to move on.
What got the fans very cross with him was the fact that he went on Twitter, took to his social media angle, and he went on cursing and swearing, right? But as at this morning, he had sent out an apology to say he's sorry to all his fans for taking it too far, because honestly, I felt it was too far. This was what woke me up this morning at about 5 o'clock, because I follow the entertainment industry, right? And I'm like...
Well, look, I understand. Look, I understand all this.
But I think rivalry goes way back in the industry. In music, anywhere, we've had the likes of Sonny Ade, Ebenezer Obey back in the days, Barrister, Collington, way back. You know, these things go way back.
Well, yeah, like you said, it goes way back. But you see, we have a new medium. They are on TV all the time. They have Twitters, they have Facebook, you know. So you can, it's almost a multiplicity of the ways they can produce or promote themselves. So there are times we look at this kind of a rant as being a promotion of himself, you know, for the promotion of, and that's fine. Look, this is not what should be a big deal, but in our industry, it is a big deal. We'll cover it and move on. They are good.
Okay, it's a brand new year. It's 2016. So we'll be talking about some of the things trending and what the year holds for entertainment, for sports. What are we looking forward to this year? The events that will be, you know, matched this year, the special things that would happen in 2016 in the entertainment industry, sports and politics. There are things we should really look at. And also, just before the year wound up last year, we had the presidential media chat with which people, it got lots of what didn't they do to what they did during the presidential chat. But you know what? Let's take you back to the rant and let's just have a feel of what Lil Kish, that's Olamide's artist, what his song is really like. Enjoy this.
What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Okay, that's Lil Kish from the YBNL Nation right there. And that's the artist whose failure to clinch the next rated award ignited the fire in the entertainment industry. The war between two entertainment lords, Olamide and Don Jazzy, who's also well known in the intimate industry. So that aside, 2016, here we come.
Yes.
We've been talking about the year. What does the year hold for sports before we go into the presidential chart that
Well,
happened?
first of all, the most important thing this year is the Olympics in
Yep,
Rio.
in Rio, yeah.
And there's not much after that. We have the European Cup of Nations, European nations playing their own tournament. But really the Rio Olympics is obviously the biggest event, and that is where, of course, Nigeria or African countries are participating. So again, we look
The
forward to that.
marathons,
no, the long distances, obviously, to the East Africans.
Exactly.
We don't know. Our basketball men's team has qualified. Our football under 23 team has qualified, and those I think about the teams that have qualified. And we have a few other individual qualifiers that are ready to go to Rio. We wish them the best, but as usual, we start hearing, there's no money for this, there's no money for that.
But with the state of the nation right now in Nigeria, that not takes us into a bit of politics, the state of the nation in Nigeria. How are we going to be able to support some of this? Looking at the tournament.
Well, look, we have a budget, so I expect that there was some money put into the budget for sports. So, a country doesn't live without money. So we have money to do what we want to do.
Yes.
That's why you write a budget. So there should be no need or no reason to talk about no money right now. Let's try to implement the budget. We've always said our problem in budgets is implementation.
Implementation, yes.
So let's see how well this is implemented and all that. So as regards to sports, I mean, it should be very, very, the way I look at it, it should be very easy. I mean, we know that the Olympics comes in every 4 years. So preparation and money-wise, we should be better organized for these things because it's every 4 years. It's not as if it jumps up on us. But we let it look as if, it's a surprising thing. Oh, the Olympics is in August. No, it shouldn't be like that. We've known this since London was over in 2012. That will be August. The dates are fixed. Even the days you're going to play certain games or the days you're going to run 100 meters are already fixed. But so we'll see how that works out. But overall, sports should be a good year because we have two really great events, Olympics and the European Cup of Nations.
Oh, okay. So that's about sports now. During the week, slightly before the New Year, we had the presidential media chart in Nigeria. And of course, it was it was very well hyped. People watched it. It was televised by NTA. And then lots of questions were asked, for the people who were selected into the media panel asked a couple of questions, and people felt that, some other questions were not asked. Has the Boko Haram thing, that people felt they should have been more direct with their questions. What was your thought? Let me just say, what was your thought about the presidential media chart? So let's take it from there.
First of all, it was a very welcome. It was welcome. It was something I think was needed, and it was very well done to be at the end of the year. He's been in office for 6 months, and it's more like an end-of-year parley. You're talking to the Nigerian people. Now, what were my thoughts about it? Nothing really big really came out of it. Most of the answers he gave were, answers that I think most of us, if you follow the Nigerian scene, so the questions, when people say certain questions were not asked, first of all, it was a 2-hour thing. You can't get to every question, but every major topic was covered. Now, whether we like the answers, it's a different matter, but like I said, the answers are, if you follow the things in Nigeria, the trend, it was almost inevitable that those were the answers you were going to get. So I don't think either way, we haven't reached a position yet with this government for you to say that this is wrong or this is right. It's 6 months. Everything is just starting to percolate. So let's wait and see. That's the way it should be. But, if people want to gripe about this question wasn't answered the way I want, because that's what people are really saying. Yeah,
we're looking at the answers. What did you think about the president's answers to some of those questions?
Like which one, Okay, I'll give you an example. People say that his answer, I think it was one of the last questions, his answer to to some of the people that have been arrested.
Arrested on corruption,
and
yes.
then the court tells them to be, or they're bailed, and then they are rearrested. You know, and he said, look, hey, some of these guys have stolen an awful lot of money, and I don't think we need to just allow them go to London or wherever they want to go to. Now, if I saw a mistake in that answer, it wasn't as if he was wrong. It was probably the way he expressed it. Because what he would have said that they were rearrested. They were not held back. You see, you can get a bail and be rearrested for some other thing, which is obviously what is happening. They have a lot of stuff on their case file. So if you get a bail on this, we'll rearrest you for this.
On another charge.
Yes, so that, I mean, I think that maybe would have been the better explanation instead of making it almost emotional, that they stole too much and that's why we can't leave them alone. So that's the way people are looking at it. But the truth is simply that, you know, they arrest them. They're not holding them back from what the court has said. When the court sets bail and they make bail, they come out and then they rearrest them on something else. That's fine. That's the system.
Okay, well, we're right here this morning. It's done on MBC, the first episode this year, 2016, and we're taking a look at what the year holds in store for various aspects of life. We're looking at sports, we're looking at entertainment. Of course, in Nigeria, they woke up to the biggest story, and they're thinking that is going to really rock the entertainment industry for a while. The music part of the entertainment industry this year, probably at least for the first quarter of the year. And of course, for sports, we're looking at the Rio coming up much later in the year. That's the Olympic Games. And in terms of politics, you know, lots of things happening. The American election is going to be later on. You know, the debate, the scene is getting hotter. And then lots of things are really going to happen in 2016. But we'll take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with you on Dawn. With Wazobia African Food Market, Trinity African Bar and Grill,
welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
Okay, so welcome back from that break. Right now, we'll be going on an interview that we conducted sometime last year. We walked into, one of those people came into the city of Houston, and then we caught up with them. You know, yes, we do that at times in order not to miss the excitement of things going around. We catch up with you, we'll do the interview, and we'll rebroadcast it. We'll take this quick interview, and then we'll be right back with you on Dawn on MBC.
I have in the house this morning. She is a renowned fashion designer from Nigeria. She is featured in fashion shows across the globe, from New York to London Fashion Week. And what she displays is simply the very indigenous Nigerian styles, made in the very funky way. We all love them now. Well, my guest this morning is Alero, and she owns the Halera. Now, I need to emphasize the Halera brand, okay? Because her name starts with an A and then the brand starts with a H-A. So you're welcome to Dawn this morning. It's great to have you. How have you been enjoying Houston?
Yeah, it's nice, interesting. I like it. Quite a nice.
Quite a nice. So is it more like a business trip for you to Houston or it's both?
Both.
A bit of
Yes,
both,
a bit
okay.
of each. Yeah, a bit of both.
Okay, so let's take it on the business side. How long have you been into fashion industry?
Talking about being into fashion industry, I've been there for officially 12 years.
Okay. That's what inspired you. What made you go into fashion?
I've always wanted to do that. It has always been my dream to do that ever since I was little. And obviously I went to London College of Fashion. But before then I went to Yaba Tech and did fashion. So I've always been doing fashion.
Okay. So when you started this brand about 12 years ago, what did you have in mind? What did you want to create with your own brand?
Coming from England, going to Nigeria, I actually wanted to do something like something that I could get everybody. I could have everybody and supply a lot of people. Something like Zara. But getting to Nigeria,
contemporary kind of thing.
yes.
Okay.
So getting to Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. When I started, fashion wasn't that well known. We only knew like 10. I was having more of this on the rather than on the ready-to-wear.
Okay.
So I tend to do more bespoke, as in more customized ones.
Yes.
Yeah, but after a while, I just had to go back to my plan, which I've done now. So I've got Halera and I've got H. The H is actually from Halera. It's the H in front of the Halera. So I actually spelled it out, and it's H.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you just call it H.
It's H.
All right,
So
let's
that's
take a look at something from you, all right? Because when you're talking about fashion, people really want to see it first. So let's take a look at how her clothes and her design rock the fashion way, runway in New York. I really like it. So let's talk about this design you actually displayed, the rocked the runway in New York. How long did it take you to create it, and what was your intention while you were creating this?
That is actually so very funny because I actually was told last minute because some people said they wouldn't go if I don't do it. So I actually did everything within a week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I know that designers usually run away from this runway thing
Yeah, yeah.
because they say most of this clothing
You
that
can't
you
use them.
exactly
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's time consuming, it's very costly for them. So
Well, I did everything within a week. It was very interesting. And it came out very colorful and nice because at the event, New York Fashion Week, it was just too colorful. There were lots of people that appreciated it. So yeah, it was good.
okay, so let's talk about your designs here in the US. Many people, okay, I for one, when I talk in when I met someone who knew you, and I was like, oh yeah, I picked a couple of things from you way back then in Ikeja, and you said you moved from Ikeja now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at your kind of styles and designs for the Nigerian market, do you think it's something that would also appeal to people in the States?
Oh yeah, it's mostly ethnic designs, and yeah, they like it. Most of the people that I have here, they've been to Nigeria, they've seen what I do, and the ones because it's different. What we have done back there is different from what you have here. So when you wear it, it's like you're the only one wearing it. So they like that, I guess.
Yeah, it's customized. That's the couture part of it, right?
Yeah.
So from start to finish, how long does it take you, to get someone's couture outfit from start to finish?
From start to finish?
Because I know you have to. The first day I met you, you took the measurements, you did the sketching, and so.
Yes. From start to finish for one outfit. 2 days.
2 days.
Yes.
That's a turnaround time.
Yes. Depending on what we put. Some are heavily beaded. With those ones, it takes longer. And if it's just the normal, nice, classy ones, they take like a day to a day and a half to do it.
So if a customer comes in or a client, let's talk about if a client comes into you, do you choose styles for them most of the time, or you allow them make their choice?
No. That's why I'm a designer. I have to sketch whatever they want. And what A wants or what will suit A is definitely different from what will suit B. So because of course we are women, we have different shapes.
Right.
Yeah. So I always sketch for my clients. I sketch, we go through it, I tell them how it's going to be, they accept, and we go on.
All right, let's take another look at some of her clothing, and we'll be right back to talk about what the future holds for Halera Design, the H line, and all of those. Don't go anywhere. It's done on MBC. Okay, so let's talk about what's looking at the future, 5-6 years from now. Where do you see your brand?
A lot of people say sky's the limit. For me, it's not. I can go as higher than the sky. So for me, I have a lot of plans, I'm planning to open everywhere, have branches all over.
Okay, opening everywhere means like having an outlet in almost every like country. Okay.
So yeah, in another 5 years, I'm really planning on that.
And how do you intend to do that?
I've started.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're saying people who like your clothes here in Houston can always reach out to you.
Yes.
So how do people who want to order, assuming, the days of the online thing now, right? Everyone wants to just sit down the comfort of their homes and order.
That's why we have a H.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to order, just order through the H store. But the other one, Halera, you have to definitely has to be a bespoke. You have to come for your measurements. You have to decide on the design. You have to do fittings 1 or 2 times. Then that's it.
Okay. All right, folks. I wish we could actually take more with her, but you love what she's wearing. Well, she knows how to do it. That's her call. That's her trade. And talking about Halera Couture and the H line. So what would you say to people out there who are watching you right now? To the Nigerian community, African community, that's what we have.
Yeah, I like to tell you that in Nigeria we have lovely, beautiful designs.
So what's your message to people, potential clients? What you have to say to them?
Oh, they should be expecting something better than we've always had. We're working on something better and moving on.
I want to say a big thank you to you, Halera, for stopping by right here today. Though I had to just hijack her, I heard you on the town say, oh yeah, come on, let's come on the show and let's talk together. So if you've enjoyed every bit of it, yes, you can always watch more on YouTube. Go to our Facebook page, drop your comments and your contributions. Follow me on Twitter at IamJimmy and let's know what you think. All right, so you're welcome to.
All right, you're welcome back. And that was an interview that I conducted with Halera. She is a Nigerian fashion designer based in Nigeria, and that was when she was here to. She launched her H brand, and that's an interview we conducted with her. Of course, we did see a couple of her New York Fashion Show clips right there too. Now we'll be taking a quick look at the presidential media chat. We're trying to just get the visuals on, and finally we've been able to do that, and we're taking a look at, like you rightly mentioned, one of the key areas where I think raised a red flag that people were not very convinced about was the issue of the kidnapped schoolgirls. Yes, Chibok girls, right? But the truth of the matter is that at some point, people, logically, you'll say, could these girls still be rescued as a whole? But let's be very truthful with ourselves. And then he said he was willing to negotiate to get the girls out. And this is not the first time he has given such an answer.
Yeah, look, it's one of those answers that, again, it's like, what do you want him to do? I mean, it's been well over a year these girls have been missing. Like you just rightly put it, I don't think anybody in his right mind will think these 15, 16-year-old girls are still in any kind of group together. So rescuing them is probably going to be on an individual basis. And I think that is obviously tougher. Now, but I think from what I have read and, moved around, just scouring the internet, is that a lot more people are uncomfortable with him saying that he hasn't found the right person in Boko Haram to negotiate with. That, I think, those were almost his words, that we haven't found more like the truthful person. So
a real link.
Yeah. So it's like, are you talking to anybody at all? So it was a funny kind of answer. But again, it's because, you're put in a situation where I don't think we really have a hold on where or what has happened to these girls. I don't want to say they're lost forever. That's almost like an unfair statement. But I think it's going to be one of those very tough things to accomplish. We might be able to destroy Boko Haram eventually. I mean, wipe them out and let them not exist.
And
but
I think that should really be the crust of what we should be looking at now, because it's harsh to say, but, a lot of times the truth is the harshest thing to say, right? The truth is we may not, we're just being logical to have these girls together as a group. Even, look, probably 6 months after this, they would not be together in a group anymore, right? They would probably be put into subgroups or whatever. But
remember, I used their age, 15, 16. They're marriageable girls. So
so looking at that, the whole essence of the fight is probably not to rescue the girls, not because not to rescue the girls, but of course to crush Boko Haram
to destroy
and
them.
make sure that we do not have a repeat of this kind of situation anymore.
Yeah, so that's why I said, the president's answer about looking for the best person to negotiate with, was kind of, it robbed, from what I read. And even when I heard him say that, I was like,
You know what, let's just call for the chart. Let's take a quick look at the chart and we'll be back with you on Dawn and MBC.
Okay, Ngozi.
Yes. Mr. President, thank you for the privilege of having us here. Still on corruption. I hear it all the time that what we have now is just a tip of the iceberg. And so I'm just wondering, because this is crime, and when you let it go so far, the trail goes cold. So I'm just wondering whether we are not picking people, one by one, very carefully, because this is Nigeria. You said it. If we don't kill corruption, it kills us. Is there a way to raise the level of outrage in Nigeria? It can be done. I don't know where the National Orientation Agency is today, to let Nigerians see the direct link between corruption and the state of their lives. For every corrupt big officer, there are secretaries who worked under him. There are bank officers who worked with him. These people will happily and voluntarily give information, very solid information. What we have now, I agree also, is a tip of the iceberg. And sooner than later, the trails will go cold. And it becomes business as usual again. The other thing I would like to say is there's EFCC and there's ICPC. I haven't seen any, I don't know, maybe it's been happening, but we who are not in government do not know. But I haven't seen any turnaround in terms of philosophy or you carrying them along with your burning vision about anti-corruption. I see you like carrying on a crusade, like a lone voice, and they are a bit reluctant. That's my perception. And that's the perception of a lot of us out there. Is there no way to rejig these two places? Call it another name, bring new people, or train the old ones. I don't know what can happen, but I am saying that we can't have EFCC as it used to be and fight the new battle with your new vision.
Well, it's a nasty situation we find ourselves. We have to be very sure of the documents we get. We have to cross-check with the banks, sometimes across the countries. We have to cross-check records. For example, in NNPC, which ship loaded, where, what is the record of, in terms of the amount of crude it leads, what is the destination, what is the form of payment, is there an agreement or just an order from the top? All these you have to be sure, but because when you go to the courts, those that are taken before the court, they are people of substance, and they used to be people of influence, and I assure you they will get the best lawyers to defend them because they can afford to pay. And it is a work that we have done. When I say we, I mean the government parastatals like the EFCC, you mentioned the ICPC. It's the amount of work they have done, maybe supervised by the Attorney General, to make sure that a thorough job has been done in terms of submitting foolproof documents that will earn respectable prosecution. That has to be done because what we have been doing as government, we cannot, I'm sorry, it's a stage where we cannot reveal it. You can say, okay, from the time ICPC was put in place to now, How many people have they successfully prosecuted? How many people ICPC successfully prosecute? If you do that, maybe you didn't have even the patience to keep quiet. You just condemn them outright. But now we are being very thorough because we made the accusation. Therefore, we have to prove in the court of law that those that are corrupt, we have enough documents, if possible, the amount of money, in which currency, even maybe the shipping line that take in terms of NPC, and then if it's a central bank, under which the governor of central bank, when, whether he received order directly from the president, or whether he used his initiative between himself and some ministers and transfer hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of naira. So I think by the end of the first quarter of next year, I think you will be kept to be the informing Nigerians of what progress has been made.
Okay. Manir.
Yes. How far, Mr. President, are you willing to go in this fight? Is it right to the top, or are we stopping at the current time, the NSA and other former ministers?
Well, he has just quoted what I said when I was inaugurated, that I am for everybody, I don't belong to anybody. I saw by the Holy Quran that I will defend the Constitution, and whatever belongs to Nigerians, if anybody was appropriate such a thing, will attempt to get the documents and will prosecute them. It is up to them to prove themselves innocent before the courts. I told you I have experiences when I just mentioned the words, a decree is signed and people go.
Okay, that's Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari responding to some of the questions that he was asked at the media parley, press briefing, you know.
What you call those questions?
What would you call? Okay, the first one will probably look
that was an
like opinion piece.
That was an opinion piece, you know. I mean, look, at times we go overboard by trying to get in everything. Look, a question should be very simple. I mean, look, when you're writing an exam, one of the most upsetting things, is when you have a question that's a whole paragraph, just reading the question itself. So I think some of the questions, and I watched the whole 2-hour thing, I mean, some of the questions were just, they were not put right. I mean, you could understand where the question they really want, or the answer, again, when you ask questions, you're looking for a particular answer. You're not looking for a broad, wide answer. So, they're trying to set you up, and so they get it so long and, becomes unintelligible, and all that. The one we showed by that lady was not really the best question. It should have been very much simpler because we all knew what the question was supposed to be. She didn't have to go on editorializing, writing an opinion piece. But again, it's a first media chat. I think by the next time
it will be a lot better.
It will get better.
Yes, it will be a lot better, and probably we'll have another set of panelists who will be interviewing him.
Even if they use the same set, I don't care. But I think they will be better because if they go back and watch themselves.
And that brings to mind another thing that I read about people's comments about the media parley was that the panelists never asked anything about his result, the WAEC result or his whatever anymore. And at some point, I felt that wasn't necessary. I felt it was just,
Look.
Would you have expected to hear anything about that? Would you have wanted a clearance or follow-up or anything?
He's won the election. He's won the election. That's what I'm saying. There's some things that, we have to learn to let things go. He's won the election. Move on. I have what I call a parallel. I have an article that would come out in the next week or so on my Facebook and on Twitter and all that I call the parallel worlds. I mean, I live here in America, and I'm trying to use Obama winning an election in 2008. Some of the things he did and some of what the Buhari government are doing is very similar. Hey, for 4, 5, 6 years, if you ask Obama any basic question about, something that's probably not working well, he blames George Bush. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the way politicians are. The same thing with Buhari. Just blame the past government because they put you in whatever position you find yourself. But again, that's just part of what the parallels I would draw. And that's what we're seeing. There's nothing wrong in asking questions that determine our future. Going back and asking about school certificate, we've gone through that. I still insist that it actually shouldn't exist in our Constitution. We don't need academic qualifications to lead other people. I don't think it's necessary. And that, that's what we have in our Constitution. But that's gone. He was allowed to contest the election. He won the election. He had more votes.
And he is the president.
So let's move on. That shouldn't be an issue.
So 2016 now, in the year 2016, what are you expecting? What are some of the things you're looking forward to that should happen in Nigeria in 2016?
Look, what should happen in Nigeria? Look, we're on the line of stopping corruption. You're not going to stop corruption because human beings, I don't want to say by nature, but when you have, especially when you have a big bureaucracy, the people that are going to meddle with how the processes. So what I expect to see is a better structure. I keep talking about systems. We have to build better, sustainable structures that are less crowded, so things can move smoothly. Now, if this government is able to do that, we can see what they're trying to do with those that they're bringing in to come and account for whatever monies they took out. If you can use that to build a system where, people just can't reach for money, we might be on a good track. The fact that the National Security Advisor can reach for $2.1 billion without any kind of process now is very bothering. Now, if we can stop that kind of a thing, we'll be fine. But let's look at it. National security votes in Nigeria have been the biggest area of theft for years. They've always said it's unaccountable funds to the governor, to the president, and all that. So unfortunately, let's get a system that stops that kind of thing.
Let's have a process. Okay, well, that's what you can take this morning on Dawn on MBC, the first day of January, and probably next week, I can assure you, we'll reach out to the streets and hear what people have to. What are they expecting in the new year? What's their plan? What's their hope? What are they hoping to see? How do they think 2016 will affect them for good? So you watch out for that. You could actually be seeing yourself right here on Dawn on MBC. Don't forget to go like our Facebook page. Go on, say, like a Facebook page and send us tweet messages. You can always send us the text messages. Give us a call. We want to hear from you. What's happening in your neighborhood, in your community that you want us to talk about and you want us to be a part of. So, Prof, one word from you before you go.
Hey, I wish everybody great health. Health is wealth. So after health, prosperity, So that's what I wish most people, wish everybody in 2016. And we'll be back next week, Saturday.
Okay, thank you so much. And of course, to our producer, I want to say a big thank you. And to everyone who was a part of Dawn this morning. We'll just give you a quick look of what 2015 was like right here in pictures. What happened right here in Dawn 2015. I hope to see you next week, Saturday. Bye-bye.